coming from, his dad's coming from. However, it's Tyson's decision, and if he's going to come back, he's fighting in a couple of weeks' time. I'd much rather he does it now than sits around for 4 or 5. Does it? His powers won't be the same. He's not got a lot of miles on the clock. We will see. I mean, I think the big thing with John, what upsets John, is the training.
From any of the Furies, the Fighting Fury family, usually they stick together. And John's not doing that here. John is trying to lay it out, and he could be over-exaggerating a bit, and it could be a bit of sour grapes, because it seems like Tyson has barred him from the camp this time around and brought back Sugar Hill Stewart. So maybe that's a part of this, but it also is an honest take. I think Makhmudov could.
I think John Fury's genuinely a bully, and I wouldn't mind if he was doing anything he says, but he's just all mouth. I've never seen him do any of the shit he said he's gonna do.
Right. In a real fight, it's like it's panic. The panic really sets in. If you get hit in a real fight, when you get hit in sparring, it's like, you know what, the worst thing that can happen, I get a bit embarrassed. But if you get put over in a fight, it's like the end of the world.
Frank Warren destroys John Fury for trying to stop Tyson Fury's fight and comeback after broken relationship. Frank Warren tore into John Fury, absolutely humiliating him for trying to block Tyson from stepping back in the ring. He called him out for jealousy and bitterness, exposing the family fallout while making it clear Tyson still has the talent and drive to dominate.
I'm sure Tyson prefer that not to be said, and I'm a big believer. You keep you haven't got to tell the world what you got to say to your family, yourself, and
Frank Warren does not hold back and absolutely humiliated John Fury, making it crystal clear. Tyson Fury's comeback is his decision, not mine. John Fury is acting like a madman, trying to control his son's career. Tyson is in the gym, in top shape, and ready to fight. Warren exposed John for interfering with what Tyson truly wants.
Well, I never asked him to come back or encouraged him in any way, because that's got to be his decision. He's a very wealthy guy. Financially, he's set up for life and probably 10 lives under. But he wants to fight, and he's in the gym. He's in tremendous shape, and that's his decision. And that's his decision. Understand, where his family are coming from, his dad's coming.
The Wade concept exposes John Fury as completely delusional. John Fury is surrounded by so-called friends pretending to have Tyson's best interests, yet he's blind to reality. He's ignoring the right path for his son, acting jealous and bitter, while Tyson pushes forward, taking the tough fights and proving John has no control over his comeback or career.
And he's alluding to Sugar Hill Stewart, the people around him. I assume that's who John's talking about here when he says, people are acting like his friends, and they're acting like they got his best interests, but they don't, and he's not listening to me anymore, and he should have been doing easier fights, which, again, if Tyson's not fighting for a belt, I understand the need to fight a contender to get back to the belt, which is why I think it's kind of...
Dominic Ingley exposes John Fury for being completely out of control. John Fury's so-called emotional act is really jealousy and meddling. Dominic makes it clear Tyson doesn't need his father policing his career, yet John can't help himself. While Tyson is focused, hungry, and in peak shape, John fumes, powerless to stop his son's unstoppable comeback, proving he's more of a liability than support.
It's just funny listening to John, because he is straightforward, and people always say to me, oh, he's a nutcase. He's an idiot, he's kicking off. I mean, not really. I says that's the kind of public John Fury that you see. But if you've dealt with him, off camera and behind the scenes over the years, he's a different type of fella. But he does get emotional when he's doing interviews, and quite rightly so, because it's his son. And I don't care what anybody says. When you're in the position where John Fury is, and he's kind of come through with Tyson all the way through the amateurs, everything else. No matter what anybody says, a proper father is always going to have the son's back, no matter what. And in boxing, there's so many sycophants hanging about, waiting to take advantage of you.
Darren Till exposes John Fury's posturing. John Fury tries to come across as intimidating, but Darren sees through it. While John clings to the image of control and toughness, Tyson is laser-focused, disciplined, and ready to make a statement in the ring. John's interference only highlights his insecurities and inability to influence a son who is stronger, sharper, and fully in command of his career.
Whatever, I think he's a bully, John Fury. I think he's a proper bully, and he talks about fighting man. I don't buy none of it. I don't buy it.
Eddie Hearn highlights the family tension. Despite John's historical role in Tyson's career, the father-son relationship has clearly fractured. Eddie points out that Tyson is moving forward, training and preparing for a major comeback, while John's involvement is now irrelevant. The once close bond is strained, showing that John's opinions and meddling hold little sway over a fighter determined to control his own path.
You get embarrassed as well, so yeah, when that happens for the first time in a fight scenario, it's a totally different kettle of fish. And it's not nice when it happens in the gym, to be honest.
David, let me ask you then, because listen, he's only had 13 professional fights, Moses Atoma, and the last time he fought was last year in August. For someone who's had so few little fights, is he out there often enough, do you think, or do you think that the amount of fights that he's had?
Carl Frosch calls out John Fury's antics. Frosch frames John as someone seeking attention rather than genuinely contributing. His attempts to intimidate or control Tyson fall flat, while Tyson returns with focus, confidence, and purpose. The contrast is clear. John's actions reflect jealousy and frustration, whereas Tyson's comeback demonstrates professionalism, readiness, and dominance, leaving John exposed as powerless behind the scenes.
All he's doing is attention seeking, and he's getting more attention now, but yeah, him anyway. Tyson Fury, Makvedov. Good little fight. Tyson's nice and relaxed. He's coming back. Again, after retiring, he's back out of retirement. We kind of knew it was going to happen. He seems in a good place. He seems quite happy. He's not out of shape. He's in his usual shape, which isn't great shape in terms of physicalities to look at. He's not good on the optics, but you know he's in shape because he's not 28 stone.
Liam Goff dismantles John Fury's opposition to Tyson's return. John Fury claims Tyson isn't himself and shouldn't fight, yet this is just jealousy masking his inability to control his son. While John fixates on the past and the toll of previous fights, Tyson is mentally and physically ready, showing resilience and hunger. Goff highlights the irony. John's attempts to block his son's comeback only emphasize how powerless he is. Tyson's drive and capabilities are undeniable, and no amount of fatherly interference can stop him from reclaiming his place at the top of boxing.
But he's saying that Tyson isn't himself anymore. And I tend to agree with John Fury. He's certainly not at his best anymore. I mean, how could he be after everything he's been through and stuff like that? So I tend to agree with that, right? But he was saying words to the effect of that the Wilder trilogy.
Simon Jordan criticizes John Fury's public meddling. Talking about repairing relationships publicly, John Fury is making everything about himself. Jordan points out the mistake. True reconciliation with Tyson would happen in private, not in interviews. John's constant interference and public commentary expose his bitterness and obsession. While Tyson moves forward focused and professional, Jordan underscores the reality. John's opinions hold no weight over a son determined to dictate his own career, proving that Tyson's comeback is guided by his own ambition, not a father's outdated control or jealousy.
Relationships, you repair them in private, not in the public domain. John, on the times that I've met John, I found him to be engaging and charming. But there's other times when I've seen him whether it's an act, or curated or whatever, it's boorish, it's unpalatable, it's unpleasant. When you headbutt Ukrainians in front of Saudi royalty and behave yourself in a way that's not particularly appetizing, you get judged by it. So with due respect to the fact it's a scoop for these guys, I'm not hugely interested in John Fury's.
Tyson Fury shuts down John Fury's control completely. Tyson makes it clear he surrounds himself with people he trusts and has no interest in being influenced by others. This statement exposes John's attempts to interfere as irrelevant. Tyson's independence and mental fortitude are central to his comeback, leaving no room for fatherly meddling. While John obsesses over controlling Tyson's decisions, Tyson remains focused, disciplined, and laser sharp, showing that his career and choices are his alone, not dictated by jealousy, family drama, or outdated notions of authority.
I don't have people around me, never have and I never will, because I'm a psychopath. I can't have a million people around me because it doesn't work. I just have the same old people I've always knew, that's it. I'm not interested in making new friends, I'm not interested in what the next man's got, I'm not interested in what the next door neighbour's doing, don't care. Keep myself to...
Duke McKenzie puts John Fury in perspective. Comparing Tyson to legends like Muhammad Ali, McKenzie emphasizes that fame and fan admiration don't erase flaws. John Fury's interference and obsession with control are irrelevant next to Tyson's achievements. McKenzie points out the stark reality. John's criticisms and overbearing approach don't diminish Tyson's skill, focus, or dominance. While John fumes over his son's career, Tyson's reputation, training, and comeback demonstrate professionalism, capability, and independence, making John's bitterness look petty and ultimately powerless in the face of his son's unstoppable trajectory.
You know, obviously Fury's got his own fans and people that think that he is a legend and one thing and another. Well, that's all well and good, but you've got to look at his resume. It doesn't stack up. Not to the great fighters. It doesn't stack up.
Shane Fury exposes John Fury's irrelevance. While John obsesses over controlling Tyson, Shane highlights the reality. Tyson has already completed the game and is returning because he wants more than yachts and holidays. John's interference is pointless jealousy. He can't dictate what his son chooses to do. Tyson's hunger, passion, and drive are undiminished, showing that life outside boxing hasn't dulled his fire. This is Tyson's choice, not John's, and every public outburst from the elder Fury only underscores his bitterness and failure to accept his son's independence.
The thing is there's nothing more left in life for these boxers. When these great boxers what's completed the game and they've got everything, what else can Tyson do? You know, there's only so much yachts and sailing, and there's only so much flying on holidays, and there's only so much fucking whatever a normal person thinks is good you can do before you see.
Peter Fury demolishes John Fury's criticism. Peter makes it clear, when Tyson is on his A game, he dominates, regardless of anyone's opinion. John Fury's complaints about opponents or difficulty are laughable in the face of Tyson's proven skill, focus, and discipline. Tyson picks the right fights and controls his career, leaving no room for his father's outdated interference. Peter underscores that John's bitter remarks are irrelevant. The real story is Tyson's readiness, his sharpness in the gym, and his unwavering ability to perform, proving he's fully in charge of his legacy.
Yeah, well, whether he can take him or not, he shouldn't be taking him, and he knows that. But when he's on his A game and he boxes, he can box. He ticks all the boxes, trust me, and he's exciting as well. And he does the right thing with this level of opposition because he's walking through.
Shane McGuigan reveals the truth. John has been used as a pawn, creating chaos while Tyson stays laser focused. This interference is unnecessary and even detrimental. Tyson doesn't need his father stirring drama. John's shouting and public outbursts are nothing but attention seeking, highlighting his inability to control or influence his son's career. Tyson's mental toughness and independence are the real story, proving he can succeed without any help from John Fury's outdated or toxic involvement.
Tyson, I think, used his dad to keep him involved and as a infiltrator, you know, someone that can shout and scream and cause a bit of chaos and unrest, you know. And I think like he doesn't need that in this fight. So he might make a U-turn when he...
John Fury claims he doesn't need Tyson, yet his words drip with envy and frustration. The reality is clear. His public attacks and obsession with respect only expose his failure to accept Tyson's autonomy. Tyson's decisions, comeback, and training are his alone, leaving John powerless. This rant doesn't intimidate anyone. It amplifies how irrelevant John has become. Tyson's focus, skills, and independence shine in contrast, proving that no fatherly threats or family drama can derail his career or stop him from reclaiming his place at the top of boxing.
If you can't show your father respect when it's needed, keep going. I don't need you. I don't need him and his millions. I need nothing off him. I wish him well, but he's put those people before me, his blood father. That's hurt me like you wouldn't believe. So, they can jog on. Yeah. And I mean that.
John Fury's bitterness backfires spectacularly. John claims he doesn't need Tyson, yet his words drip with envy and frustration. The reality is clear. His public attacks and obsession with respect only expose his failure to accept Tyson's autonomy. Tyson's decisions, comeback, and training are his alone, leaving John powerless. This rant doesn't intimidate anyone. It amplifies how irrelevant John has become. Tyson's focus, skills, and independence shine in contrast, proving that no fatherly threats or family drama can derail his career or stop him from reclaiming his place at the top of boxing.
I think Mahmoud just made for him. It's a perfect fight for him. Got the height, looks the part, he's strong. I think Tyson's hands will be too fast. I think Tyson, his feet are the thing what I want to see. I want to see how his feet have deteriorated, because it happens to everybody. So I just want to see what version of Tyson we get. He's out in Thailand training, so he's got to make sure he trains right. No cutting corners at this stage in your life. 37 years old. There's a lot of young lions knocking at the door, watching you. You're in a meal ticket. They're planning for you already. And I think Tyson's very.
Johnny Nelson highlights Tyson's readiness versus John Fury's irrelevance. While John Fury complains and criticizes from the sidelines, Tyson is out in Thailand preparing meticulously, keeping his feet sharp, hands fast, and body in peak condition. Nelson stresses the generational gap. Young fighters are watching, but Tyson's discipline and experience dominate. John's interference and public commentary are irrelevant noise. The reality is Tyson controls his own destiny. His comeback is fully his decision, and no amount of fatherly drama or jealousy can undermine the precision, preparation, or hunger that defines Tyson Fury today.
Good. I think that mentally he's in a good place. Physically, he looked good as well. He's been working well out in Thailand, and I sort of agree with Paulie. I think that he's a massive addition to the heavyweight scene. He has been over the last 10 years, and I think it's good to have him back. We need the characters. Look, are the legs still there?
Liam Goff highlights the challenge of Tyson's comeback. Being out of the ring for over a year is no small matter, especially for a mover like Tyson Fury, who relies on agility, timing, and precision. Unlike a pressure fighter, Tyson needs rhythm and ring sharpness, which makes this return a true test. Yet, this long layoff hasn't diminished his focus or determination. While John Fury's constant meddling and public criticism attempt to overshadow Tyson, the reality is Tyson's preparation, discipline, and natural talent are far superior to any distractions. Fans should expect a measured, intelligent performance, proving his legacy is fully intact.
Tyson Fury has been out of the ring for well over a year now. By the time he gets back in the ring on April the 11th, he will have been out of the ring for well over a year. You're probably talking close to 15, 16 months. It's a long time, especially for someone who is more of a mover, more a boxer. It's not like a pressure fighter who can just...
Lennox Lewis emphasizes Tyson's passion and inevitability. Tyson Fury's love for boxing is undeniable, and despite retirement, his return was almost guaranteed. The public has missed him, and his comeback isn't just about glory, it's about the sport he loves. John Fury's attempts to control or criticize are meaningless because Tyson's decisions are his own. His return will showcase his skill, mindset, and enduring dominance. Fans should focus on Tyson's excitement and preparation rather than the chaos surrounding his father. The stage is set for a fighter in full control of his career, proving once again that John's interference is irrelevant and outdated.
I think it's a good fight, especially the return for Tyson Fury. I think the boxing public definitely missed him, and like he said, he loves the sport so much. He came back, and you never really know with Tyson Fury, but there's one thing I did know when he retired, that he would be back.
Carl Frock underscores Tyson's readiness despite retirement. Tyson Fury looks relaxed, confident, and fully in control, proving that time away hasn't diminished his skills. While he may not have the perfect boxing optics, his fitness, training, and consistency speak volumes. Training twice a day since announcing retirement shows unmatched discipline, leaving John Fury's public outbursts meaningless. Tyson's focus, mental strength, and preparation highlight that he's in command of his career, his legacy, and his fights. Fans can expect a sharp, tactical, and dominant performance that proves Tyson's decision to return was not just inevitable, but also fully justified.
Tyson Fury, Makvadov. Good little fight. Tyson's nice and relaxed. He's coming back. Again, after retiring, he's back out of retirement. We kind of knew it was going to happen. He seems in a good place. He seems quite happy. He's not out of shape. He's in his usual shape, which isn't great shape in terms of physicalities to look at. He's not good on the optics, but he's in shape because he's not 28 stone. He's probably looking about 18 and a half stone-ish, and he's in the gym. I don't think he ever really came out of the gym. He said he's been training twice a day since announcing his last.
Lennox Lewis praises Tyson's untapped potential. Tyson Fury still has a lot to offer the heavyweight division, with opponents he hasn't faced and challenges that can test him. He thrives on meaningful matchups, requiring fighters who push him to deliver his best. While John Fury continues to make noise in the media, Tyson's focus and strategic mindset make him untouchable. His passion, intelligence, patience and skill ensure that every return fight is significant and competitive. Fans can anticipate a fighter who not only entertains but also shapes the division. John Fury's distractions are irrelevant. Tyson's legacy and dominance remain firmly in his own hands.
Do you think Tyson still has a lot to give to the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I do think Tyson has a lot to give to the heavyweight because, you know, he's a good boxer, and there's a lot of guys out there that he hasn't boxed, such as the guys due to box. You know, there's a guy, he could box a lot of people out there. But, you know, like he said, you know, who are they? They have to be somebody good for him to box, because he has to have that type of person. He has to have a challenge. If you don't have a challenge in there, it's difficult to...
Tyson Fury's return isn't just another fight, it's a statement. After months away from the ring, he's sharp, disciplined, and fully focused, leaving John Fury's drama and distractions in the dust. Every jab, every footwork, every strategic move will show why Tyson remains the heavyweight king. Fans, analysts, and critics alike are watching closely, but only the ring will tell the full story. Don't miss a moment of this epic comeback. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join the discussion. How do you see Tyson performing in his big return?